I did some research across the board, and in the end, LPT just seemed to have the right fit across the board on many different levels. But it was not a decision I took lightly. I could tell you that.
And I'm going to give it a minute because usually there's a little bit of a lag, but I'm super excited, man, to be here with you today. I've made a few of these announcements, and every time I'm just blown away by the awesome reception that we get, right? And how we're able to just expose people to what is a great model. So without any further ado, I just want to introduce a good buddy of mine and now new business partner of mine. A lot of you guys already know who it is. It's Scott Botelho with Home and Key Real Estate, not Realty.
Good job.
Dude, I'm already winning. I started the day off on top. But I just really wanted to thank you for being here, taking some time, because this is a big announcement, man. And I'm super excited because I know that you've explored a lot, and being a fiercely independent brokerage for years, right? And building your business up. This decision didn't come lightly. We've had lots of conversations. We're on the phone almost every day for the last month. And so I just wanted to, one, just welcome you to the LPT family. And then two, just open it up and learn a little bit more about why you guys are all making the move and kind of how it's been during the exploration phase. And now that you're pulling the trigger, man.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for having me on. I'm super excited to be joining the family for sure. Yeah, and I didn't take, this was not a decision I took lightly. This has been going on for months. This was not a decision I made 2 weeks ago. Hey, let's look at something and pull the trigger. That's not how it went. I did some research across the board, and in the end, LPT just seemed to have the right fit across the board on many different levels. But it was not a decision I took lightly. I could tell you that.
And so what are the things that stood out to you? Actually, I'm curious, but genuinely curious.
Mhm.
What was it that made you think, hey, I think I might need to look at partnering with another model?
Well, that's a great question. I think the big thing is, as an independent broker owner, you only have so many resources that you can provide. Like, I'm always looking for ways to provide my agents value to help them build their businesses. And as an independent owner, like your resources are limited. You can't tap into unlimited resources. And that was one of the things that finally got me really looking at other options, was to understand that, hey, if I truly want to grow and scale and give these agents the best tools and resources out there, I'm limited in what I can do that. And let me just take a look at some of the other things that are out there and some of the tools and resources they can provide. And let's, if it makes sense, it makes sense. And it really, it made sense across the board. It's one of those things. It's funny, you say to yourself, what the heck took me so long? But I believe everything happens when it's supposed to happen. It's that simple. So we're right where we're supposed to be, right at the right time. I think it's a great time. But that's what kind of got the ball rolling. It's like, I am limited. One person can only provide, and we got a great thing going here. The company is we're into the fourth year. We've grown over 40% year after year over the last 3 years. We're poised to do it again this year. So we've been doing extraordinarily well. My agents are really, really doing great things out there. But again, I'm tied up. I can only provide them so much. And there's a lot of other stuff that's available out there for them with something like LPT, for sure.
So, okay, and let's unpack that a little bit. So what are the things that you saw at LPT where you're like, I even need that? Talk me through that.
There's really 4 things that jumped out at me right off the top of my head. The first one was leadership. Like, I need to feel comfortable. If I'm going into battle, like, this is a big move, right? And if I'm going to make a big move like this, I need to feel 100% comfortable and confident that the leader can take us through the battle, lead from the front. And so that's one of the things I loved about Robert Palmer. I feel like in the short time we've had several conversations and I've had a chance to watch a lot of his stuff, but what I love about him is he's not leading from the ivory tower. He's out in the forefront. Like this week alone, how many meetings are they running this week because of the NAR thing? It's like the whole week is just stacked with meetings.
5 a day.
5 a day,
Ridiculous.
and he's going to be in a lot of them. So this guy isn't sitting up in the tower, pulling strings. He's out in the front lines, and to me, that's the leadership that I want to provide my agents, and that's the leadership I want to provide me. So the leadership was huge. He surrounded himself. I mean, he's already been successful in other businesses. That's important, right? So this isn't something he's trying. Well, let's give this a whirl. And then the guy is smart. He surrounded himself with some really, really super smart people in order to help the company grow, not just rely on him. So the leadership was the first big thing. I worked in a prison for 20 years, right? Like I wanted to, when I worked there, if I'm going into something, I want my leader to feel confident, comfortable. Like this is what we're doing. This is how we're going to get in and get out, and everybody's going to be okay. And you need to have that. And it's the same thing here. It's like, I want to make sure, that we're being led in the right direction. And 100%, again, I didn't take it lightly, didn't make an overnight decision. But he's proven it time and time again through history. And now in the short time that I've had an opportunity to speak with him, you can see it. So that was it. Leadership was number one for sure.
Okay.
And the second thing for me, I'm a big marketing guy. I've been doing this for 23 years. My very, very first coach 23 years ago told me, you're in the lead generation business.
Yep.
You're not in real estate. You just happen to sell houses. Your job is to generate leads. And so I've always been a marketing guy. And I felt like, same thing with the leadership. I felt like I was in alignment with what he was doing, how he was proceeding to move forward. And on the marketing side of it, like, I fell in love with this stuff because I've been using call capture for 23 years. I've been using those same type of funnels, offering items of value to bring them down the funnel. And so when I saw this, it's like, boom, it was a natural connection for me. Even from the listing presentation, watching the listing, it's so similar to my listing presentation. So it's like, it almost was cohesive. It was a real, real nice fit. And so the marketing, and to be able to do it all in one place, oh my God, my agents are jumping for joy. It's like, this is so beautiful. With one click of a mouse, we can essentially do anything we want from print to digital, all that stuff. So that was super important to me because I do believe we're in the marketing business. We're in the lead generation business. We just happen to sell houses. So the best way to do that is through marketing. So I love the marketing with the company. It was in alignment with what I already do. So that was easy.
I actually remember when you called me after that. You called me and you go, hey, dude, this is exactly what I do. This is so much in alignment with what I'm already doing.
Yep. I can literally take that deck and swap out a few pieces of our own personal stuff over here, and the presentation remains the same. So so it was like a natural fit on the marketing side of it too, right? So the leadership, no brainer. This guy's a true leader, leading from the front. This guy's active. Calls, trainings, open to his agents in the organization, which I think is huge. Then the marketing piece, and then the next piece of it all, it's like coaching. I love coaching, right? Like I've been involved in coaching for 20 some odd years, right? I believe that building your skills is a really, really important thing that we need to do. Like if you want to convert more, you have to get better at your skill. You got to skill build. That's what the pros do, pro athletes, right? They just continue working the basic fundamentals, build that skill set up. And here, in the current situation, like training and coaching, guess who it falls on? Me. Either that, I got to go outside, excuse me, and bring a coach in. And that's not cheap, which I'm not afraid to invest. It's a great investment. But now I have access to top minds in real estate, right? We masterminds. You got the weekly trainings. You got the library of training. So the coaching and the training is like endless, and it doesn't all fall on me.
Yeah.
So that was super attractive because again, I only have so much time and resources myself to be able to do that. Now we get to pick brains from top agents across the country and soon to be in other countries, right? That we can pick the brains of some of the top minds, and they're all open and willing to share, and contribute. And that's part of the core values of the company is that whole contribution thing. It's not limited to this. It's open to everybody. So that was really, really attractive to me too, because it's not like that everywhere else.
Yeah, that's for sure.
right? Um, and then finally, for me, the compensation structure is such that, for the love of God, like I have a little joke around here. It's like in terms of retention. See, I've been running my business, Isaac, as a team, because that's where I came from. So we really have, we got 33 people on. We're running a 33-person team, but that's the one model that I had. That I provide all the tools and resources. This is the different commission breakdown. I didn't have a model for a top producing agent that wanted to do their own thing.
Mm,
And so I couldn't attract that from outside of the company,
yeah.
because I didn't have it available to me. So to me, I love it because I can have my team structure, and then you outgrow that, I can put you into the into the business builder plan. And so the retention, to me, the only way with losing agents is one of two ways. There's a problem with the culture fit, or they're like, that leader, meaning me, I don't like him. I got to bounce. In terms of compensation, and there's nothing out there in the marketplace like this. And so to be able to offer that to not only my agents and keep them with the retention piece of that, but also to attract top producing agents who are looking for a cap structure that I didn't have. And I couldn't provide with the business model that I had.
Yeah, they
So
want to be attached to you, but they're like, I don't know about at that price.
right. And hey, Scott, I don't want to work leads and I don't want to do this. I just want to do my own. I didn't have a place for that. And so there's a lot of agents that I could have brought in. So I'm super stoked about having this opportunity to present to my marketplace. Cause like I said, there's nothing like it, Isaac, over here. There's nothing like I know of in the market. And so it's really like, I just can't wait to get going with this thing. So
Yeah.
those are the four big things that really, really jumped out at me. I mean, I think that's the whole package is there. That's what attracted me, and that's why I'm here.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And I wasn't able to, we kind of scrambled this together because we said, hey, the word's already getting out locally, so let's just do it.
Yeah.
But we have another business partner in this, right? Chris Snow.
Yeah.
And I want to just tip my hat to him because the guy's just amazing. If you're out there and you know who Chris Snow is, I tagged him in the post. He and I are partnered up in bringing Scott over. I don't want to take that lightly. Chris is an amazing person. He's a great resource, one of the best leaders in LPT and real estate in general out there with the coastal Florida team. And so I just want to give him a big shout out. Make sure that if you know who Chris is, reach out to him if you're interested. Reach out to Scott if you're interested in LPT. I want to dig a little bit more into this though. Sure. Let's say I'm an independent broker and I'm like, okay, Scott, I get what you're saying, man. There's a lot of stress on the system right now. I don't know if I could provide the same level of runway that I might be able to provide as an individual. Instead, I'm thinking maybe it makes sense to merge with the cloud-based brokerage. But I'm afraid of what my agents might think or say or do. How did you handle that? Because that's a real thing that we run into. And I know you didn't take that lightly at all.
So I had many conversations with you, with Chris, with Michael, with the other Chris, how to best approach this. Because I had that same concern too. It's like, it's the fear of the unknown is what it comes down to. It's that basic fear. So the way I did it is, I took the information and brought it to my leaders first and asked them all to take a look at it and said, hey, I'm thinking about doing this, but I want your input on this because I don't, we got a good thing going here. I'm not looking to upset the apple cart, but I really value your opinion. If you wouldn't mind, take a look at it. I gave them the long video, the hour and 20-minute full video, had them all watch it, and then circle back with them individually. And all five were like, I don't see anything. There's no cons here. I don't see anything. There was nothing but pros that they fell in love with it. So that was that. And then at that point, I took it out and then I rolled it out to our entire company. Had them all watch the video prior to us at our company meeting, where I would address any questions and concerns that they had. And they all watched it. And I had, and then we did our little meeting where I gave the presentation myself of why I liked it and why it was, I thought it was a move that was beneficial to everybody. And then we brought in the LPT leadership as well as you and Chris joined on that call. And I think you heard some of the people when the big question is when can we get started, right?
Yeah.
So um the feedback, there was no negative feedback at all. So, but I totally get what that's, anytime there's change, it brings up a little bit of fear, but in order to grow, you got to change, you
Yeah.
know?
Well, and so one thing I want to make sure that we all talk about is that video, right? That video does a great job explaining not just the model itself, but where did this all come from? What's the concept behind it?
Yeah.
And so if you're watching this video, whether you're watching it live or after the fact, I just dropped a link in the chat. It's scottbotelho.lpt.com. If you go there, there's a button that says watch the video. And so every single person that joins LPT, they have the opportunity to promote LPT if that's something they choose to do. And so there's that website, scottbotelho.lpt.com. It's in the chat. So if you want to watch that video, learn what did Scott share with his team that where they said, hey, yeah, let's go ahead and merge our entire brokerage with this brokerage. That's going to go a long way for you. So make sure you check that out.
I approach this like I've done everything in my career. It's like I don't pretend to know everything that there is, but I know where I can go to get the answers. And so that's where people like you and Chris came involved. It's like I don't know the answer. Let's get Chris on the phone. Let's get Isaac on the phone. Let's get Louie on the phone. Let's get this Zoom going. So we don't have to know everything in order to present this. I think that video does. I mean, you're going to get everything you need from there. And then if we needed other stuff, you get people that you can rely on to ask those questions who know.
Yeah.
Until I get a better understanding. But yeah.
So two more things, and then I'll let you run.
Sure.
One is, how has the transition been going? Talk to me about team concierge. Like, what's that been like? And this is not me planting a seed. Like, if it's crappy, let me know it's crappy. And
No, so far so good. It's like now I'm getting down towards the end. A couple of the logistics just got to
and
work.
actually, real quick, sorry. For
Yeah.
those of you guys who don't know, I didn't introduce this concept. We have a team concierge, meaning, hey, a brokerage is flipping over to a team. They want to move over. There's lots of marketing that's involved, lots of signatures and all these different things. LPT has a dedicated team and they assign you a person who's going to help you. So sorry, just want to give that
No,
context.
so for me, it's like we started a while back, and I remember having these conversations. Listen, I want to set realistic dates. That I got enough stuff going on in business that I don't want. I already lost my hair. I don't want to lose it again. Right? Can you lose it twice? So it's like we started. We got the roster down there, the photos down there. They got all the proofs done, the logos done. So I didn't do it. I've done it over the last little while. It wasn't like they just started working on it yesterday, but it's been smooth. And bottom line is this: if I have a question, you know me, I'm not shy. I pick up the phone, call Steve, call Jacob, call Amanda, our local broker. It's like, all right, what are we doing here? Because I'm a one-step guy. Like, all right, I got this done. What do I got to do next? All right, let's get this done, and then keep moving forward. But they've been fantastic. We get to the point where I got an email this morning. Okay, the paperwork's in. You want to flip over? And I'm like, time out. I run the brokerage here. I got to go last.
Yeah.
Who's gonna be the broker record over here when I leave first?
Yeah. Hey, well, and that's a good point, right? Hey, listen, you got transactions in the pipeline, whether you're a broker, a team, individual agent on a team. There is a way to transition. There's a right way and a chaotic way.
Mhm.
So when you're thinking about moving, I don't care if it's from Indy to LPT or XYZ to ABC brokerage, reach out to the resources that you have to make sure it's a smooth transition, because it is possible. The thing you don't want to do is wait till you have no transactions.
Right.
Everybody, like, I've seen that so often where people are like, well, let me wait until things slow down.
No.
It's like, well, you want to start building when things are empty? No.
Yeah, we got 54 or 55 transactions pending right now, and then that's what we'll go. I was actually on the phone with a man. Okay, what's my transition look like? And we'll figure it out. The good news is we're going. So how that looks to get there from point A to point B, we'll get it figured out. But they've been great guiding me through the process. So far, everything's been pretty smooth.
So I lied. I got two more quick things. What are you most excited about moving forward? And as you guys are making the transition, what are you most excited about for you and your agents?
I'm just excited that they have this whole opportunity in front of them. Like, I've never had anything like that. I had to build everything from ground zero, all the little tools that I did. It's like, okay, I got this. This is like 23 years of coaching, putting things together. I had to create everything. I didn't have like that roadmap, you know?
Mhm.
So to be able to step into a roadmap with everything at your disposal, I'm super excited for my agents on that. And then for me, this is probably a little, you know, there's a lot of things about owning a brokerage that aren't fun. Balancing escrow, cutting checks. So those little things that take up a lot of my time, I'm now going to be removed from that, and I can spend more time working with my agents, helping them get more, putting more deals together and keeping them to that's where, to me, is really super exciting for me as a leader.
Yeah.
To be able to really work with, because that's what I want to listen. I've said it. I live a very comfortable life selling houses, right? That's not what gets me juiced. I love watching my agents grow. That's what turns me on. That's what gets me up in the morning. That's what keeps me sleep, you know, up at night thinking about how can what can we do better to bring in more business. And so now I can really dive right in and do more of that instead of the administrative type of
Yeah.
stuff that I have to do now. It takes up a lot of my time.
Yeah, it's huge. And actually, there's two things that I've noticed. So you are I think in order, the fourth independent brokerage that we have moved over into LPT this year. And we really didn't really start doing that stuff until February, right? In terms of real estate CEOs, our group. And here's what I hear consistently. One, I'm glad to get rid of. Oh, there you go.
I took the
I'm
whole
glad
chocolate off. My God.
Good thing we did it live too.
Mm.
So one is the amount, and it seems like all the brokers did the same thing as you, Scott Jacobs, Ron Weiss, right? Like that group, you look at it and you go, the amount of income is far outweighed by the amount of stress and liability of being the broker of record.
Yeah.
It doesn't offset very well nowadays. And the other piece that I've also recognized is the people that are really interested in LPT that make the move, they're tuned into a different radio station. Right. A lot of us, myself included, a lot of the times, they're listening to WIFM. What's in it for me?
Mm-hmm.
And here's what I've noticed consistently about the leaders that move their teams in brokerage over to LPT. They are able to tune into what's in it for them. You talk about Chris, right? You talk about all the people that we're partnered up with here on this platform consistently. Every time I talk to them publicly, Facebook Live, whatever, but also behind closed doors, they're like, dude, it was really simple. Where I was and the structure I was under, my agents weren't winning. I was winning. Agents weren't winning as big as they could. Doesn't mean they weren't winning at all.
Right.
But when you look at LPT, it's hard to unsee it.
Yeah.
It's hard to unsee what the opportunity is, because I do know other leaders where they go, well, yeah, my agents look at that model, and if I bring that model to them, they might actually like it better than being on my core team.
Good.
They're kind of threatened by that, and that's okay. It's their business model. That's how you want to run. I'm okay with that. I don't think either one's right or wrong. They're just different. I think the majority of us are just saying, okay, well, when we see that, we see, hey, my agents can win at a higher level. Awesome. I can't unsee that. I can't not do that.
You help enough people. That's the old Zig Ziglar thing. You help enough people get what they want, you get everything you want. Don't worry about me. Just help them. That's it. If you're looking out for the best interest, we would not have made this move if it was not in the best interest of my agents. We wouldn't even be having this conversation. I wouldn't have considered it. It was a no, you know, it's like you said, once you see this stuff, you can't unsee it. Once you know it, you can't unknow it. And it's like the stuff is so compelling. All four areas that I talked about, I was just blown away. There was no con in any one of those things. So I'm super excited. Can't wait to get started. Like I said, I can't wait to get through all the little bit of red tape that we still have in front of us. But
I'm an agent in Massachusetts. I'm an agent anywhere, actually. How do I get in touch with you, Scott? I want to learn more about LPT. I want to learn why you made the move. I don't want to hear that Facebook Live stuff. I want to hear the real deal. How do I get in touch with you?
The best thing for me, I'm old school. Give me a call. 508-789-8529.
One more time for those trying to write it down.
508-789-8529. I like to talk. I'm a talker, not a texter and an emailer. I would love to have a conversation with anybody. I'm not sure. Is that the link that you put up? Is that thing live? Did you check it first?
Oh yeah, I checked it first.
I was like, we should probably check that. But no.
I checked it as you were talking. I went over, I checked it, make sure it was running and had a picture on it. And I was like, all right, cool. That's the one I'm throwing.
Yeah, cool.
Awesome. Well, if you guys have any questions, make sure you reach out to Scott. Also, our other business partner in this is Chris Snow out of Florida. I want to give him a big shout out. He is a big part of watching this organization grow. And so we are invested in Scott and Home and Key Real Estate. And so if you want to reach out, make sure you reach out to Scott. We'd love to talk to you more about your business and why it might make sense to make the move. Thanks, Scott. I really appreciate you, brother.
Well, you know, I listen. I appreciate all the time we've spent because we spent a lot of time calls and texts and Zoom. But I really appreciate. That's another thing. You have a vested interest in my success, which I love too. So
Big time.